Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. I broke it down and I told you about yesterday what was going on, how they took down two, different gang fractures, gave them 176 charges and indictment. They went in, these is our babies, they ran up in the house. Please check out that video. This is a prison story because I want y'all to understand that we don't want your babies to wind up in prison. That's why we're doing these videos. All right, I'm going to show a video later on about El Salvadoran prison and prisons throughout the world and how they're dealing with gang violence so that you could understand that, it's nothing nice. This is a worldwide problem, but we have to worry about cleaning it up in our backyard first. Now, sit back, enjoy the ride, and let's boogie. All right, so you know what it is, right? Unique Mecca Audio, we're going to talk about this. We got the gang violence going on in New York. This is everything going down. I just want y'all to know that we cannot continue to live like this. Our babies is out there running wild on the street. You wind up in these prison cells. I did years in these prison cells behind me, and we're trying to prevent the youth from going in these same prison cells. So don't say we didn't tell you, so don't say you wasn't informed. Now, they lock up these babies, they got them on their indictment, they take them down there, they put them through the system, and they trying to make sure you never see your babies again. And if you're lucky, you get to see them in 2 decades. If they rat, you already know how I feel about that. You might see them in 1, But 176 charges for a little over 2 dozen young men from in one area in the Bronx alone. Do you know that in the next 20 years, when we look back at what we're allowing to happen with the gang takeover on the street by not talking to our babies, not letting them know the consequences to their actions, not letting them watch these Unique Mecca Audio videos so that they know what Unique Mecca Audio already been through and trying to prevent them from going through, then it's going to be on you. Back in my days, we had the excuse that I didn't know, no one told me, and everything else. You can't say no one told you about running the streets and where it would land you because Unique Mecca Audio is here. I'm telling you, I was in the devil's den with gasoline drawers. It wasn't no joke in there. So don't let nobody come out here tell you how good it is. None of that. That's why when these young brothers go in, they find religion, whether it's Islam or Christianity, they try and seek some type of higher power because we dropped the ball and we didn't perform our duties to talk to these babies to let them know that simple right up from wrong. You don't shoot a 79-year-old woman in the leg or anywhere else, for whatever reason. You don't shoot into a crowd. You don't shoot, period. You don't even touch a gun. Just the mere possession of a gun could take you away from your family, friends, and loved ones. And your girl that you think you're telling for, oh, I'm telling because I don't want my girl, to be raising my baby without me, Either way, when you get caught, they're going to raise them without you, and there's going to be someone that the prison terminology called Jody. Jody is the one that took your girl. Jody is the ones that you call in a square. Jody is the one that's going to school. Jody is the one that got a job for the sanitation that you say, I'll never pick up garbage out there. That's Jody. Jody would wind up raising your child and then impregnating your woman with more children. By the time you come out, Jody would have taken over your whole being. And now you coming out, your kids calling Jody daddy. Jody has given your children's brothers and sisters, but you are running the streets saying you're doing this to take care of your children. You're taking care of your mother. I know so many of my comrades that went to prison and lost their mothers. come home to no mother. I was blessed to come home to my mother still alive. You can't imagine how powerful that is for me to sit down and kiss my mother every time I walk past the chair that she's sitting in. Just to touch my lips on her skin is the most beautiful feeling in the world, because I've missed her for 26 years sitting in federal prison, and that's where they're trying to take our babies by taking them off the street. So we must come together. We must talk to the babies. Do not let them get away with this. Please wake up the babies. I seen a mother fighting for her son when they came to get him. That's the way, young lady, you should have been fighting to keep him in school. And that's not a shot at her, it's just letting it be known. Fight for your children, because if not, they're gonna take your children from you, and you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. All of these young kids making the drill music, they slide in, they on scooters allegedly shooting at each other, and wherever they see them shooting in public. How do you just shoot at someone, another human being, when you see them because you just don't like them, their set, their neighborhood, where they come from, the color they wear, whatever, and you just start busting your gun when you see them? Come on, busting your gun. And now innocent people get hit. Innocent people get hit. And then now that justifies the powers that be to come in and remove you from your home. And do you know that let's ride. Let's ride. Do you know that right now they have something in place that your grandmother could have been living in this subsidized housing for the last 30, 40 years? And then now you come out of jail, young man, and you in there, you on your ankle bracelet, you can't leave the house, you smoking a joint, and then your PO or your probation officer come check up on you, and he smell the smell of marijuana, and now he can take your grandmama's house from you and put your grandmother on the street from you smoking a joint of weed in grandma's house. That's how they setting it up to tear down the whole community and re-gentrify it. Take those apartments that the subsidized rent was paying $179, your grandmother might have been paying for rent for 50 years, living comfortably. $179 a month. But that same apartment she in, once they take it, renovate it, re-gentrify it, and put and the other races in it, now they're going to get $4,000 for that same apartment. $5,000 for that same apartment that they feel your grandmother is occupying space and taking money out their mouth because they're secured from what they call draconian living conditions, where they said that once you get in, that it becomes retroactive, that now it's called fixed renting. Y'all put in the comments what the exact terminology. These rat bastards always got something to say. They got it where stabilized rent, that's what they call it, where it stays the same and it never changes. And that's where your grandmothers is living at. That's where your mothers is living at. That's where your aunts is living at. And you jeopardizing that by smoking or having drugs or violence in the house, because now they could come by and then try and put them out on the street, and they don't care where they go, because all they care about is now they're going to get $4,000 to $5,000 a month for that one apartment. In 10 months, 50,000. In a year, they made $60,000 from your grandmother's apartment. Where in 10 months they didn't even make $1,000. They made barely over $1,000. You know what I mean? Under $1,500 is what your grandmother been paying for the year, and right now they could get $60,000 for that. Do you think they want your grandmother in there, or do you think they want that $60,000? This is where we at. So let me ride back. I looked at the video yesterday, man, and I saw how they went and rounded up our babies. When they took our babies off the street, it was nothing nice watching the way they was throwing them in the paddy wagons. I've sat in the paddy wagon, and that's the worst feeling in the world, sitting in the paddy wagon. I'm sitting in this paddy wagon. Remember the guy Gray down in Baltimore, when they put him in the paddy wagon and didn't strap this young man in? By them not strapping him in, they driving, and instead of taking him right, Freddie Gray from down in Baltimore, rest in peace to Freddie Gray, right? Now, remember when they drove around with Freddie Gray in the back of the van, instead of taking them to the police station, and they bending corners and running the other events that they running on and things like that. And when they did all of that, he banged around in the back, hit his head, and died in police custody, all for being accused of allegedly selling drugs in that area. And they driving around with this man in the car, one of our young brothers in the car, in the back of the paddy wagon. Being in that paddy wagon, it's like you take a box, you know, like a washing machine box, and they put you in the washing machine box and put the lid on it, and then you're handcuffed. And this man wasn't shackled while they're running and making calls and doing what they do. Come on, man, this is what you want for our babies? That's why we have to talk to our babies. They just arrested about 24 of our babies in the Bronx yesterday on a Bronx crackdown. We need to come together. We need funding to do projects. And then these rat bastards, see my Cash App on the screen. Don't forget to hit the logo and say it was created in 2020. Then they complain about me asking for assistance when even the police department that's locking up our babies with the POL, PAL, they go around and they solicit funds in order to keep their program alive. But here I go, a black man trying to solicit funds to keep my program alive, and I got our own people. Instead of them joining the board and trying to move forward to save the babies, they trying to destroy me as a black man and calling me Reverend Ike for doing the same thing that everyone does. CBS, NBC, they all have fundraisers in order to keep the channel alive with the sponsors. But when a black man do it on YouTube, they say, oh man, I can get him. He got 100,000 subscribers now. Oh my God, he got 100,000 subscribers. Man, how he get 100,000 subscribers? He worked for it, my nigga. I worked for that 100,000. Giving good jewels, giving good game, giving good content. So that don't deserve a Cash App, then y'all need to go to another channel. You know what I mean? Because that means that you ain't nothing but a rat bastard, flip-flop wearing in public, troll, trying to get something for nothing, and you definitely need this. To the face. Man, I had to do, let me ride. I was locked up with a killer, right? I was locked up with a killer in 80X, right? And every time the police did something to him, you know what I mean, he'll look at me and he'll say, yo, he needs killing. You know what I mean? This is a man telling me that another human being needs killing. He's like, man, he needs killing. You know? After a while, he say that. I asked him, I said, why do you say that? He said, man, because some people don't deserve to live, man. He said, he's a coward. I'm locked behind these bars. He comes to my cell. He talk trash to me. He know he would never talk to me like that in my face if I wasn't behind these bars. He know if I was on the street, he would never talk to me like that. And I had to remind him, family, you're never going to the streets. And he said, yeah, but I'm still here. I'm still human. The first chance I get, I'm going to give him what he deserves, which is killing. And I looked back and I thought, and I said, damn, he ain't playing. You know what I mean? He seriously don't like this dude, you know? But it takes a split second to pull the trigger. And that one split second could cost you 3 decades in prison. You know how many men I met in prison that a split second wrong decision landed them in prison? A split second. But then now we have the babies that's carrying on with this activity out on the streets where the police have to come in to police our neighborhood when we supposed to police ourselves, because it's supposed to be our village, our tribe. But we call the police to help. The police come in, they take our babies for 30 years with no rehabilitation in sight, just to remove them from the families. And they say, oh, we're moving them from society because they're a danger to the community. Then rehabilitate them. And if they say they can't be rehabilitated, because a lot of these people, when I talk, they say, you wasting your time talking to the youth. They're not listening. My nigga, they listening. You're not talking their language. And then they come on here and they say, oh, Unique, don't use the N-word. Man, my niggas that watch me use the N-word. So if you don't like the N-word, just don't watch me. I had over 200,000 subscribers come through my page since I've had this page. And I'm blocking $100,000. Because I don't care about their subscription. Because that's like that one weed growing in your garden. You got a beautiful rose garden, and then you got this one weed, what they call a thorn in a nigga's back. This one weed that just makes it look so ugly. That's what I equate the trolls and flip-flop wearing in public rat bastards to. Just sit back and enjoy the message. If you don't like the message, don't agree with the message, just go to another channel. I'm going to do a video on Young and Ace interview with academics. He said some powerful things in that video that we live by on the street when we on the street. I'm no longer on the street, but I'm talking to the babies that's on the street. That man, Young and Ace, was raised a gangster. I could tell that by the conversation he had with academics that academics didn't understand because academics was too busy trying to get into, if he know Fulio. The police do that, academics. And academics asked the man, when the last time you been to Tampa? Academics, they got an active murder investigation in Tampa, and they got this man as the central figure. Why would you ask when the last time you been to Tampa and then try to push him to say it? You see how old people is subconsciously working to even put away our babies and don't even realize it. I know academics don't realize what he's doing. He's trying to do what they call good journalism and, give the work out to the people and just give them the information they want. But certain information is not the time or place when there's an active investigation going on. I'm going to deal with that video later on today. I've been on here long enough. I just wanted to put this out so y'all understand, man. Please, stop it. Stop it. I'm going to break down that Young and Ace video. As a matter of fact, I'm going to title this video, you know what I mean? Something about Young and Ace, because it's like when you see these names of these young men that's in distress with the government on their tail, y'all want to click the link. But when you see a video that says, keep our babies safe, talk to our babies, save our babies, nobody want to watch it. But as soon as you mention, Julio got backdoored, you know what I mean? 100,000 views. I'm not chasing those 100,000 views. I'm chasing the kids that's out there that think that this is sweet, because it's not sweet. It's a very dangerous time that we're living in. They used the war on drugs and the crack era to take me and my comrades off the street. Now they're using the gangs to take our babies off the street. They always figure out a way to get you. My number's on the screen, 917-680-9091. Call me, Cash App on the screen, hit the logo, make sure it says it was created in 2020. Whatever you send, $1, $5, $100, it's appreciated to keep the content alive. The game is to be sold, not told, and if you rat bastard disagree with that, go back under the rock you came from. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Definitely hit the notification bell. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button and cop the book of Roll Harlem. Let's keep this movement going, man. This is how we have to be here for each other. They just don't understand what is going on. We have to save our own community and stop depending on Europeans to come in to say they're saving our babies and they're just locking them away. I'm out of here.
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yard.